Hello everyone, welcome to this video about the news in V15.1 and V15.2. In other words, what can you expect in V16 in purchase, inventory, and barcode. So let's jump in. I'm gonna explain you the news, the new features of purchase, inventory, and barcode as I mentioned, and then I will show you two smaller things, smaller bug fixes which have been implemented now. So let's start with purchase. For purchase, we have a purchase history now. So it's really nice because you can see which purchase orders were created for the given product, and there are some small fixes to the reception report. So let's see with the purchase history. I'm going over to Odoo, and I can show you that there is. So if I create a new RFQ basically for a product. Let's say for this vendor, I want to order from them my finished product, and maybe I want to order like 10 units from them. Once I save it, then I can see the history. And first of all, you will have a filter for the vendor. So at first you will only see the purchases made of this product from this vendor. You can see in which quantities you have purchased and with which unit price. But if you remove this filter, you can see all the purchase orders which have been created, also to different partners, and you can see or different suppliers, and you can see also like which quantities you have purchased from them and on which price. So I think that's a really useful tool, and we were needing that, or we needed that already from Odoo. So I think now it's a really nice tool. All right, so I have this purchase order and the purchase history. And if I'm going further, we have the reception report. If you remember, we introduced the reception report with V15. And of course, like since it's a new feature, we can always improve a bit on it. And just to remind you and just to show you a bit and explain a bit more about the purchase report or the reception report, you need to activate it in inventory. So in the config of inventory, you will find the checkbox of reception report. So that you need to check. And and then you will see with all the operation types which have the receipt as operation type or type of operation. There you will see all these, for example, this one. You will see here already the allocation smart button, even before validating the receipt. I can click on it, and here you can see that, okay, here I have one delivery of this product, so I can allocate and associate my product, my quantity which is about to be received to this delivery. However, what I can also do, I can go to configuration and operation types, and here I can just group by the type of operation. So whatever has the type of operation receipt, and it can be returned, it can be dropship, it can be other operation types which you created, but with the type of operation receipt. These will have like show reception, like a checkbox with show reception report at validation. So if you check that, then what it does is, so if I go to my receipts and I'm picking this one, so I can set my quantities. I'm gonna also talk to you later about the set and clear quantities. So I'm setting my quantities here, and if I'm validating, then I can see already right away, like, okay, I could allocate like 8 units from this receipt to this delivery which belongs to this order. And this is a new thing, that here now you do have a link to the sales order, because previously it was not the case. In V15.0 it was just a text and that's it. So now with this you can go to to your sales order to check, okay, this is what I have, this is what the customer wanted, so now I can go back and I can assign this. Here, of course, you can have the graph to see what's the situation with the product. But yeah, basically, it's the fact that it makes our lives a bit easier to that we can go back to the sales order to see, okay, which one is this one, and how urgent is that really. All right. So moving forward is okay. The next one is inventory. So with inventory, we have some fixes with the inventory adjustments, and we have a new feature with the automatic batch transfer, and we have the set and clear quantities. We have a fix on them, and I think it's also a really really nice one. So let's jump into the inventory adjustment. So what is happening here? If I'm going to operation and inventory adjustments, I can already see that there is a yellow number here. And why is it yellow? Because it's a negative quantity. So this is a new thing. It's not really a spectacular one, but I think it's a really useful tool that it kind of attracts our eyes to that point where we have a negative quantity on our inventory. And you might ask, like, okay, but how do we get the negative quantity from, or where do we get the negative quantity from? And the answer is that if you go on for example, to your delivery orders, but all of the transfers have this, like you can have an immediate transfer and you can have a planned transfer. If you have an immediate transfer, then the whole transfer will not go through the reservation process. So it means that with the immediate transfer, Odoo will not check if you actually have that product on inventory. Um, it will just believe that you have that product on hand and it will send it out. But it can happen, yeah, it can happen that you don't have it on your inventory, on your stock report, and it can be a result of any mistake which you have been doing throughout the processing of your order. But then you might want to see on your inventory adjustment report, on your inventory report, that okay, this is something which I need to pay attention to. And you might decide that you simply just do a stock count and say, like, oh, yeah, okay, but I still have like 2 units, and then you fix this, or you can just go back and search for the reason, like, okay, what was causing that discrepancy. But bottom line is you can spot the negative quantities. If you're not really okay or comfortable with spotting these colors, it can be because maybe it's not a nice color, or you just overlook it. You can also use the filters, and then here you can have this negative stock, and this will also highlight you and just filters it and only shows the negative quantities. I think it's also very useful to use this filter. Um, you might have realized that we have now a schedule date, and the schedule date is connected to the cycle count feature which we introduced in V15 already. Um, so that means that every company needs to, some have legal requirements for that, some just simply um, decide for a yearly or maybe a more frequent cycle count. That means that at least once a year you want to count every product of yours to make sure that whatever you have in the system matches what you have actually on the shelves. So that's very interesting and important from the inventory standpoint. So this is what the schedule date refers to, that this is your next counts date, and that also comes from your location settings, so that you can also see in the location. But here you can also set up manually that, okay, I want to count it today. And let's imagine that you don't just have 36 units on hand, but like, or 36 products, but like thousands. So you might want to have a filter to count products, and these will pick the schedule date being today or in the past, basically. And like that you can see all the products. And this is basically the way you can do like this cycle count, which we were used to, or with this inventory adjustment which we were used to in the previous versions from up until V14. uh, so like that you can also just maybe request a count, and then you create that, or just apply what you have counted. um, so yeah, this is this filter. What I wanted to highlight here is another thing. So let's say I have this product here. Let's say I have counted 15, but I don't apply it yet. And in the meantime, I have maybe received some products, or maybe I sent out. So let's say this corner desk left it. Let's say I received something. So I'm receiving this product, um, maybe like 3 units. That's fine. I'm saving it, confirming it, and quickly just receive it. And if I'm going back to my inventory adjustment, I can see that there's something not right. You see, the whole line is yellow. And this is exactly because of this discrepancy. So when I set up my counted quantity, this receipt was not included. Bit, so in the meantime, I had some product moves, and now when I click apply, Odoo is actually asking me, okay, what do you want? Because since you have entered your counted quantity, there have been some changes in your inventory level. So you might want to revise this. And it proposes you two options. If you want to keep your counted quantity, because maybe you counted it properly and everything, and you want to override that. But I guess keeping the difference might be in many cases the right move, meaning that you would keep your difference, and then it would add up together to, so add the received quantity to what you already have, meaning you would keep the difference between the on-hand quantity and the counted quantity, thus increasing the counted quantity with the received quantities. But now I want to keep my counted quantity, and you see now it becomes black again. All right, so this is about the inventory adjustment, and the other news of this one is like the apply all button, which is helping if we have multiple product. We have counted multiple products. So, for example, here as well, maybe I counted here 50, and I have here like scattered counted quantities which need to be applied. So previously what I could do is I could go to the filters, I can filter the ones to apply, and then I could highlight everything, and I could just click the apply button. But that was like 2-3 clicks, and yeah, you needed to work with it. So now what you can do, if you're super sure that all the counted quantities are to be applied, you can just simply go up without highlighting anything, without doing anything. You can just click the apply all, and then you will brought to the inventory adjustment reference and the reason. So let's say it's a test. So here you also have this warning that whichever lines don't have counted quantity, they will be ignored. So I can apply this, and you see now everything has been applied. So this is really a nice and easy way to apply all your counted quantities, in my opinion. All right, let's move forward. So Here we have the automatic batch. The automatic batch is referring to the batch transfers. So in the inventory in the config, you can set the batch picking, wave picking. For this one, we will need the batch picking mainly. So you need to have this activated also. And in your operation type, and here it doesn't really matter which type of operation you have. So let's say I'm with delivery orders. So here you need to activate your batch transfers. So in that, when any delivery order will be created, then Odoo will check it. And regarding no, depending on your settings here, it will group your transfers or your newly created delivery orders into batch transfers, so batch pickings basically. So you can say that you want to group at your outbound area or at your inventory, you want to group your transfers per contact. Because you want to send everything to one customer at once. Or you might want to say that you're sending your goods with different carriers, so you want to make sure that you have the goods for one carrier in one spot and for the other one in the other spot, because like that it's easier to load the carrier's truck. Or you might want to say that your carrier is not that important, but some carrier will bring your goods from you to Spain, for example. And then you want to say that, okay, I don't register my carrier, but I know that I want to have in one place everything which I'm sending to Spain. And like that you can group it by destination country, and I think it's really useful. You can also define, because maybe your picker colleague will not be able to pick like millions of lines per batch or millions of transfers per batch. So you might want to maximize that, like, okay, I don't want my picker to be overloaded, so maybe I just want to give him like 5 or 6 deliveries to collect and to pick, and that's gonna be perfectly fine for him. um, Also, the weight you might want to maximize, because maybe you don't want to maybe you just booked like a 100 kilogram space or weight space on your carrier's truck, so you might want to just give 100 kilograms to him. And we have the auto confirm option also, which means that if you have it checked, then going to your operations and batch transfers, you will see all your batch pickings in your in progress state. So instead of seeing them in draft, they will be in progress, so Odoo will really calculate with them. So I think this is really a nice feature, and you might find that it's useful for your clients. Um, all right, the next one is the set and clear quantities. So we have also introduced this feature basically in V15. Now with 15.2, we're making it maybe working a bit better. So what is happening here? Let me just find my delivery first. Yeah, here you go. So here I have like 3 products on the same delivery. And let's say, well, here I already see that I don't have everything reserved for these products. So let's say that for the acoustic block screens, I want to I have 3 units, but I know that out of the 3 units, I want to give 1 unit to another customer. So I just want so manually I'm marking my done quantity. So here I have my done quantity. And then with the set quantities, what I can do is that my reserved quantity will be marked as done. But whatever I have added manually, it will not be touched. So Odoo will not override the manually entered done quantity. And the same goes with the clear quantities. You can see here I will have all my done quantities 0, except for the one which I have marked manually. So I think it's a really useful and really needed fix for this button and this functionality. Okay, let's go further and go to the barcode. Here I have the picking per packaging, and I think that's also really cool. And I can now delete additionally added products from the delivery. I will show you what it means exactly. So here for the picking per packaging is like if you have activated the product packagings. Um, Previously you had only the quantity per unit, but now you can add quantities per pack to your picking. So let's say, okay, here I'm quitting here and I want to go to my barcode and I'm going to my delivery orders. I want to find my transfers which contain my finished product, and that's basically just this one. And here, if I go in here, then I don't see yet my my package, but just let me create a brand new sales order so that I can have it reflected. So here I have my client and here I have my finished product. And let's say that I want 30 units. That will show, that will mean actually, as it's shown here, that I have 3 boxes of 10. So I'm confirming this one and I have my delivery created. So right now I can go back to not my inventory, but to my barcode, to my operations, to my delivery orders. And again, like I'm searching for my finished product. Watch out that it's a product and not a transfer. So here I go with my finished product delivery. So here previously we had this 10 units for the box of 10 and we needed to go in and everything. And now I do have this box of 10 here. So here I have the 15 units, but I can add like because this is what I have available right now, but I can add here like a box of 10 and you can see that here it's like it's increasing with 10 units. So this is way easier than actually adding per 5 or per, so it's I think it's easier and better. And now that I'm here I can, let's say I accidentally scanned another product's barcode, so maybe I have my whiteboard pen and I'm confirming it, but here I have a huge red red light because this one wasn't included in my sales order. So previously what I could do is I could go in here and like reduce my units and I could confirm it, but then still I would have this line here, which I really don't want because it was just an accident. So I just want to remove this line. And now, as you can see here, I have a huge black. I have a huge red button here down on the bottom of the screen. And if I'm clicking the delete button, then my accidentally scanned product has disappeared, and I only have the one which is active. Interesting fact is that if you have, so it doesn't work like that with the intentional product, so the one which you have a link to the sales order, and here this one you cannot delete. So that's, I think that makes perfect sense, and like that I can also validate, but I'm perfectly fine with that now. All right, so these are the two for the barcode. And here I have still 3 small ones with the back to basics. And I think you will also like it. So previously we didn't have, so once we created the delivery from the sales order, once we confirmed the sales order basically, then whenever we changed the delivery date on the sales order, the delivery didn't take it over anymore, and this has been now changed. So let me just show you what's happening and what I mean exactly. So if I'm going to my sales order, I create a new one, but I can also duplicate my old one. So let's say I'm duplicating this one and I'm confirming this. So here I have my delivery and it's really cool. So I have my order date. I have here my delivery date being as soon as possible or calculated by Odoo. So based on my lead times and all that. And if I'm going to my delivery, I can see that, oh, no, it's not available. Okay, let's see. When will I have it available? Like really far away from now. So I'm telling it to the client, and then the client says, okay, that's fine. I don't even need it right now. So maybe if you can send it by at the end of the month, I'm super fine with that. So what is happening now? I changed it in the sales order as I would like to draw your attention to the fact that I changed it in the sales order. But now that I'm going to my delivery, my deadline has been changed. And you might ask, why not the schedule date? And the reason for that is that because it's the deadline or is the customer requested date which has been changed. I can still decide in my own schedule of deliveries that I want to send this already or whenever it's available. But the customer requested deadline is the 31st. So also how it shows in the deliveries, you can see the schedule date, but I also have my deadline available here. So if you add this column, then you can see that, yeah, okay, I don't have it ready yet. So I want to search for my customers' orders or deliveries. And here you can see here, you see, this is very striking that the schedule date stays today, but then the deadline is in 17 days. And yes, it is waiting, but I still scheduled it for today. But then you can say that, ah, yeah, okay, I'm very happy that my client has changed his mind. So I can schedule it for the 29th and he will still get it in time. So now if I go back, you can see that the schedule date is in 15 days, but and my deadline is in 17 days, so I'm better off with that. I think it's really useful and really cool that we can now do that because it was quite rigid previously. A very nice one. Another feature is when you go to your products and you check your forecast. So for my finished product still. Um, if I'm checking my forecast here, I can see that I have quite some products on order, but I cannot fulfill 45 units of sales. And here in with this button, I could always replenish this, but then it was quite cumbersome to go to replenish and then okay, see like, okay, how much quantity I need. But now with 15.2, we have this quantity defaulted on our forecasted quantities. So whatever I have forecasted, you see with the forecasted inventory, this is what I need right now. So I can confirm and I can create the RFQ from that. And I think it's really nice. So I would even go ahead and do that. So here I have a brand new RFQ created, and I can of course confirm it. And if I go back to my forecasted report, I can see that, okay, this one is covering the two sales orders. Yeah, so I think that's also making our lives easier. And then last but not least, and I swear that's the end of the news, there is a new error message. So in version 14 still, if you wanted to go to your reordering rules, um, so if you created a new reordering rule, and let's say you set up your filters in a way that you don't see that you're actually entering a duplicate, or maybe you have such a long list that you really don't see that your entry is unnecessary basically. Then if you clicked OK, and sorry, it's not 14, but it's 15, then you receive this error message. Combination of product and location must be unique. And then you might have wondered, like, what is this? What does it want to say? Like, it in the end it does make sense, but you really needed to think about, like, what needs to be unique and why, and it is unique. But now it's with the new subversions, if I'm going to my reordering rules and I'm entering a new reordering rule which is actually a duplicate, then I receive a completely different error message, and I think that makes like perfect sense. And it says that a replenishment rule already exists for this product on this location. And yes, that's true. On WA stock, I already have a reordering rule for the table. So I can say, okay, yeah, that's right. Or I can say, ah, yeah, that's right, but I want to have this on, I don't know, on my dispatch input location. Why? Don't ask me. I want it like that. So like that now Odoo accepts it. So I think this is also nice that we have a clearer error message. At least we know what that is about. So yeah, this brings me to the end of my presentation. Yes, I do have still here some screenshots for you, but this is basically the end of my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't very, very long and you didn't fall asleep. And I hope you're as excited as with the new features as I am. So thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.